But the limiting factor will be financial. As I said, all great nations end for financial reasons. And that is what's happening today. We can't afford it any longer. Sure, we need to get rid of the Department of Education, but we spend $1 trillion a year maintaining an empire. The founder said, be friends, trade with people, you mix with people, and don't fight with people, don't tell them what to do, practice diplomacy. But now we are on this endless streak of interfering, involving, and dictating. We have two choices. We go to a country and we say, do it our way, or we'll bomb you. And then if they do it our way, we give them money. But we're broke. We're broken. We just can't continue to do this. That's what the dollar is telling us. The debt is too high. The dollar is weakening. The middle class is being wiped out. The international debt is so big, and we're dependent on others. Our good jobs are overseas. So who's going to pick up the pieces? Is it going to be the current crop of politicians that we have right now, or are we going to restore real conservative constitutional values to our country? My argument has always been that if you follow the Constitution, you will defend freedom. Freedom brings people together. It allows people to run their lives as they choose. It allows them to practice a religion as they choose. And it's not confrontational, and it's not antagonistic. The welfare state and the warfare state and the socialist state is exactly the opposite. It divides us because they take away our wealth, they control it in Washington, and what is happening today? Hundreds of millions of dollars of campaign funds and PAC money and lobbying efforts to come to Washington to control the money that gravitates to Washington, D.C. And the pie is shrinking, and the people are getting angry, and we have forgotten what a free country is all about. We've lost our confidence because now we have fallen into the trap, and we act like Democrats because we have to have safety nets here and safety nets here and do all these things. But the whole story is it's coming to an end, and there's a wonderful, beautiful answer. And it comes in our traditions. It comes in the principles of liberty. If you promote liberty, liberty promotes peace, and peace promotes prosperity. So if we as conservatives are truly conservative in the sense of the word, to conserve our true values, means we have to be serious about taking our oath of office to the Constitution. Limit the government size, limit the spending, limit the deficits, limit our exposure around the world. And believe me, if America is as great as I believe it should be and can be and has been, believe me, we will have influence around the world. We cannot take our greatness and spread our greatness and our goodness through the barrel of a gun. It fails because it destroys our goodness by doing it that way. There's always payback. There's payback for guns and butter. In the 70s, when I was motivated first to run for Congress, I realized it wasn't going to last because that is when the gold standard finally lost its last link. And we ushered in the 70s, and they were tough. High unemployment rates, interest rates of 21%, high inflation rates, but we did pay back. We paid back for all the spending of the Democrats in the 60s. Guns and butter. But we're acting too much like Democrats, and now we are starting to pay for the guns and butter, and we don't even see an end to it. It is endless. It is endless. Nobody knows. We're told that this war is going to go on for a long, long time. And that means that the next generation, the burden is being placed on these young people. And that is why the college kids are coming out, because they're getting ripped off. We have undermined their liberties. We're giving them a foreign policy where it's their lives on the line. The threat of a draft is coming for men and women as this war is likely to spread. And what are they inheriting? Less freedom and a lot of debt. Entitlements up to $60 trillion, and they can't pay it. A group of young people going into the workforce which are smaller than the ones who are in retirement. The baby boomers are retiring, and they're going to demand what they put into the system, and it's just not there. So what we need to do is not only live within our means, but start paying down the deficit and offer an opportunity for at least for the next generation to get out. To get out to the point where they can take care of their medical needs by themselves, get out of the Social Security system, which is a fraud as we know it, the same time, if we use common sense, we don't have to put anybody out in the street because a lot of people are dependent. And as conservative as I am, as unconstitutional as I see many of these programs, you don't need to do it overnight. But it will end overnight if you have a cataclysmic devaluation of the dollar, and all bets are off on what will happen under those conditions if you look at history. But if we did the right things and cut where we can cut, there's no reason why we have to pay for the defense of Japan, Korea, and Europe. We're going broke. And if we do that, we literally can take care of our people and work our way out of this. If we have our freedoms and we had the responsibility to care for ourselves and we had sound money, within a year or two, we'd be back on our feet again. But the most important issue is to make sure that we have our liberties. Understanding what private properties means. Understanding what sound money is all about. And also understanding what national sovereignty means. Once again, we ought to be protecting our borders and not allowing this North American Union to come into effect. Somewhere along the way in the campaign, they coined the term Ron Paul Revolution. It has nothing to do with Ron Paul Revolution. It has to do with the continuation of the grand revolution that we have been blessed with and that we have benefited by. But there's no reason why we should give up on it. They say, I've had interviewers say, you want to go back to old times, hundreds of years ago. Well, 100 years ago, if it's true, age has nothing to do with it. The principle of habeas corpus is a lot older than that, and we shouldn't be giving up on that. But going back and picking up on the principles and the Bill of Rights is not going back to ancient times. What is ancient, which we've had before, that is the inflationary system that has been known for thousands of years, how they debase currency. But also tyranny is what is ancient. And now we're getting total control of our lives and loss of our privacy and loss of our freedoms and loss of our economic benefits. That is old-fashioned. What is new today is something that is just the restoration of what we have. We need to believe in ourselves. We need to understand how freedom works. If we do the right things, we can restore the greatness of this country. Thank you very much.
Dr. Ron Paul, everybody. Let's hear it again for Dr. Ron Paul. If only the Democrats had this much diversity in their party. Now, please be sure to join us.